today I'm here with a chit chat, get ready with me. I have tons of new makeup to play with, and this is always a good way to get a first look at some of the items that I want to talk about. A lot of this is actually from my monthly makeup basket, which I will link to down below, but basically I've got some new skincare here. I have the new Colourpop foundation, which hopefully the shade matches. I haven't tried it yet, so we will try it together. New Too Faced concealers, lots of great stuff, so let's go ahead and get started. I figured we'd kick it off with this from Glam Glow because it is a 60-second treatment, so it is the kind of thing that I would be more likely to use probably before makeup, and I haven't used it yet, so I thought we would use it together. It's purple, which is fun, and you're not really supposed to rub it in. You're just supposed to put it on your skin, and it's supposed to help refine your pores. Feels really, really creamy. I like the idea of having something super quick. Oh, oops, it's starting to bubble already. Can you see? I'm moving too slowly. Although it is nice to have like something a bit more of an intensive treatment, it is nice to have something quick just to do before your makeup as a little treatment. And you're just supposed to apply it to clean, dry skin. So that bubbles up really quickly. You can't really feel a whole lot. You can kind of hear the bubbles, but it's nothing super tingly and it feels really refreshing. So here's what it looks like if you want to see it up close. I've definitely had it on for a minute now, but it's just bubbling. So I'm gonna go rinse it off now. So I've now rinsed off my skin. It felt so good while I was rinsing it off, really creamy and almost just a really creamy, soft feeling. And now my skin, I can still feel that kind of like minty feeling on my skin, but it didn't burn my eyes or anything when I was taking it off. And my skin feels super, super smooth. So that's a fun little thing to do in the morning, perhaps while you're like picking out your clothes, making a coffee. I'm now going to put on a lip mask. This is actually for the night, I think. It's the Clinique Pep Start Pout Restoring Night Mask, but I have been liking this night and day. It just depends. Like if I'm just at home, I'll just wear it. For my skin, I wanted to try this out. It's from Drunk Elephant. It's their D-Bronzi Anti-Pollution Sunshine Serum, and it's meant to be kind of mixed in with other products, so their oils, their serums, their moisturizers. You can use it on your face and body. So I thought I would mix it in with their Sheer Physical Defense. This is a nice moisturizer. It's not completely matte, but it is nice, and you do get tons of product in here. And I have fallen in love with Drunk Elephant products. I did a video recently on my favorite serums. Actually, that was on Tuesday, so if you want to see that, it's listed down below, but Drunk Elephant made the list for sure. I'm just going to put in one pump and mix it. And it's more than just a bronzer, it is a serum, so I can't remember exactly what's in there, but it does have good things in there for your skin too. I definitely think it added some warmth to my skin, a lot of shine though too, versus this side just has a little bit on it. Although I look bronze, I definitely look super shiny, so I'm going to reach for a primer. I feel like I'm going to need to try mixing this in with a foundation, maybe. I think it's a little bit too bronzy just for the average day, or mixing it in with a more matte moisturizer, so I will keep trying it. Let me know if you have tried it. Going to put on just the Becca, look at the difference already, the Becca Ever Matte Primer. So now that I've actually mattified the center of my face, I really like the way that this looks because it's like a little bit glowy, a little bit bronzy, but still really natural because you can still see all my freckles and everything. So that would actually be a nice way to use it, maybe just powder down the center of my face. Okay, so let's move on to foundation. I don't know. I have never gotten more messages about a foundation than I have the Colourpop No Filter Foundation. I bought 3 shades and I don't know, guys. I am going to be using the shade Medium Dark 120, and I kind of messed up, and I'm just so annoyed because Colourpop, the shipping actually wasn't bad. It didn't take too long to get here, but I don't know. I also didn't pay customs. So when I went to match myself, I looked at their shade guide and it kind of confused me because like it kind of had some of my shades all over the place, and then not many people who had been sent PR were reviewing it very quickly, and there was nobody really of my skin tone. Okay, I think this is going to work, but it could be deeper. Using the Liz Wattier sponge here. I watched It's My Ray Ray. She's the closest to me, and like she wears the same shade as me in NARS. She wears Syracuse, but then I saw in the new CoverGirl foundation she was wearing T10 and I was wearing T30, and then in this foundation she was wearing T15. But then I was looking up other people wearing T15 and they looked so light, so I'm like, I don't know. So I had ordered, I think T5 or 110, which was her shade, or no, 115, which was her shade, then 120, a shade above that was still golden, and then 110, a shade down, because she actually kind of looks darker than me. It's really hard to tell sometimes. And it just annoys me because I want to be able to get a good shade, because I know that you guys use me for shade matches. So, okay, I don't think this looks bad. It could be a little better. But, and a lot of you were like, oh, you should get Colourpop PR. And like, I would love that. And I'm glad that you guys pointed that out, because a lot of people, you know, they complain about PR, which is kind of silly. Like, either you trust a YouTuber or you don't. And at the end of the day, it's up to you to make your purchase decision. So whether or not they're being sent it from PR, like for me, especially as a Canadian, if I was to go, like if I was to have to buy everything, you'd never see a review early, and I would never have the whole collection. I would never be able to give you like information before it pops up in stores, anything like that. I would probably have at least 50% less products and I wouldn't be able to review anything before it comes out, or even just have that whole collection. So it is so beneficial to have PR. Like, it's not just free makeup. I'm not just, you know, getting it and throwing it in my makeup collection. Like, I'm actually doing things with it to be helpful and to do face watches or whatever it may be. I've heard some nightmarish things about this foundation, so I'm curious to see how this goes. It feels pretty good. I will say it looks a little cakey. I will do a full wear test. I did actually reach out to their PR several times, but I'm sure like it's one of those brands where people get requests all the time. Just to be like, hey, you know, at first I was trying to get them to send me a few shades, and then when I realized I might have the wrong shade, I reached out and said, you know, I purchased some shades, I have a YouTube channel, and I would love to get a couple more shades just to give people a better idea, and I didn't hear back. So they're busy and I'm not that big. So anyways, let's go ahead and move on to concealer. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I'm using Warm Beige. I was using Sand for a little while there, but now I've moved on to Warm Beige, I think, and I will do a review on this too with, I'm thinking, face swatches and swatch comparisons, because there's just a ton of shades. But so far I have really been into it, like a lot. And I feel like if you were looking for a Shape Tape that didn't have that same matteness, this could be it, but it still has good lasting power. And tons of product. I can't remember how much is in Shape Tape. I don't have it here in front of me, but there's half a fluid ounce in here, which is half the size of a foundation. So tons of product in there. I'm gonna use this shade actually to contour Toffee. And I've really been liking it to contour because it lasts on the skin for so long. Like at the end of the day, like everything still looks bronzy and contoured and stuff. And still just using this sponge to blend it out. So stay tuned for reviews on both the Colourpop foundation and this concealer. Honestly, I was gonna try and like race to get them up, and I had asked you guys in the community tab like what you wanted first and stuff. I just got a little bit overwhelmed. Like, there's just so many new launches, and I feel like I'm always racing to get reviews up. And I try to like try the products as much as I can, but then people want to see it immediately, but they also want a detailed review, which is like you can't really do both. So I was like, let me take a minute. Like it's just, there's always something new, and it's overwhelming, and I can assume it's overwhelming for you as a consumer trying to like make a buying decision. So it's just a lot. So I was like, let me just take some time to try out these products, and I'll do this kind of full face thing if you want to see it in action, and then I'll follow up with reviews once I've had some time to actually decide, like, and give you options of, you know, why you might want it or why you might not want it, and you know what my experience was, because it's nonstop. And I'm not complaining. It's super exciting and I love new makeup, but it's just like when a new thing comes out, I'm like, get it on my face, get the review up. It can be a lot sometimes. And I want to make sure it's actually good content for you. Because I think there's value in like a first impression chit chat video like this, because it's kind of just fun and chill, and there's value in a review. So I like to be able to do both. So as you can see, that just added a nice amount of depth. Now I'm going to blend out the rest, the highlighty bits. So to set my under eyes, I'm going to be using this new powder from Pure. This is their translucent loose setting powder. It actually has AHAs in it, and it's got a built-in sponge. The packaging is actually quite cute. I just got my, oh goodness, just got my grubby foundation hands all over it. It's got a built-in sponge, which is fine. The color is, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of beige. Like, it's not super warm, super yellow. Let me try it under my eyes first. And it says if you want something more matte, you can kind of buff it into your skin, and then if you want something more glowy, like I guess for baking, you'd set it and then bake it, like brush it away. I don't really bake. And to set the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the Colourpop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder in medium dark. Doesn't look super dark, but I guess it is sheer. It's just so hard to tell online. And I had already bought 3 of the foundations and I was like, I don't really want to buy so much. And I mean, it's American dollars, so $12 becomes closer to 15, and it's not a full fluid ounce of foundation. So while it's a good deal, it's not like crazy more affordable than drugstore foundations necessarily. It's not a bad deal, but... So I'm going to stop here with the face momentarily. I'm going to do my eyebrows and then bring you in to use the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I promise you some blues and greens, so that's what we're going to do. For the eyeballs, let's kick it off with the shade Riff here. And I've talked about this palette a ton, but I have really been liking it. I have 2 Instagram tutorials one using the more purpley kind of pink shades, and then another using the golds, so I'll link that down below. I'm gonna take a little bit of Punk on the outer corner and just place it in here. Let me know if you've picked up this palette. I know a lot of you were kind of debating it, and I've been raving about it, so let me know if you have since grabbed it. Let me know if you ever pick up anything I recommend. That's like one of my favorite things ever, is just like, I don't know, because when I feel like I'm sitting down here talking to a bud, like, you know, talking to a friend, talking about the things I like. So it's always interesting to me to know if you pick something up. I don't know, that's just super cool to me that like you trust my recommendations. So now I'm gonna go in with some Radio and put this mostly on the outer corner. I've laid down a little bit more eyeshadow primer. I'm using the Urban Decay Fix. Oh, it's a beautiful shade. I don't find I get much fallout with these shadows. They're super blendable. Like I mentioned like 40 times now, it's my favorite palette that they've done. Then taking Wanderlust. The shade looks a little more flaky than the others. Look at me using brushes. Who is this? So I'm gonna just put the green kind of on like the ball of my eye, like the most round part, kind of blending into the blue and towards the inner corner. And although they're shimmery, I'm gonna run just a little of the blue and green mixed together on my lower lash line. To brighten things up slightly, I'm gonna take Stranded and put that on my inner corner. And just kind of, ooh, that's a lot. But I love this shade from the palette too. Just keep patting it in until it makes sense. So professional. I forgot to mention I did my brows with the Pop Beauty Peak Performance Brow. I really like it. It's a little bit waxy, kind of dry. It has like a triangle tip and it's quite nice. Then in my waterline, I put some of the Urban Decay Glide On Pencil in Overdrive. I think these are so good. I normally don't wear colors in my eyeliner, in my waterline, but if you are to wear any shades in there, I feel like especially their bright shades last really, really long. The black is a classic. And then I did some winged liner with the Maybelline Curvitude. I mentioned this in my monthly makeup basket. It's one of my faves. So now let's try the Revlon Volumizing mascara. I was sent the brown one, so they recently just sent me the black one. I tried the brown one, but I wanted to try the black as well because I never really wear brown mascara. I think that looks quite good. I had to build it up quite a bit. It's a little bit of a drier formula, so I think it would take more work to get clumped up. It's got kind of a traditional brush. To bronze, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Cali Contour. I got tons of questions about this and I myself was really curious. I recently filmed a face palette declutter, which you will see probably this week or next, but I wanted to make use of this. I'm going to use the bronzy shade here. I've used it once, so this isn't a complete first impression, but I'm not totally sure how I feel yet. I think if I was much darker, like if I get any more color, I don't think I'm going to be able to use it. I wish they had come out with 2 shades of these because I think that these are some of my favorite face palettes ever because, I don't know, I find face palettes just for me aren't usable because of the shade combinations and stuff. They never really come out with more than 1 shade a lot of the time. So this is just like so almost perfect, and I like that it has a banana powder in there, a blush, contour. It's all really well thought out. I just wish there was more shades, but it definitely does work on my skin tone, which is great. But if you're any bit darker than me, I don't think so. It's really hard to tell with bronzers. I've said this before, but I find they can be very deceiving in pan about, you know, kind of what they're actually going to look like on your face, because I'm like, that kind of looks like a face powder to me. But on my skin, it actually bronzes. Let's try the contour powder as well. I haven't used this one yet. It looks very cool toned. It's not horrible, actually. I think it's just for my skin tone anyways, you have to be very careful. I might as well use the blush from here as well. I love this color of blush. I think it looks so pretty, and I love that it's not like a shimmery peachy gold like everybody does in face palettes. It's just a really nice kind of neutrally, like the whole thing is just so like deserty, neutral, kind of warm. That blush color is great. For my highlight, I'm going to be using this from Pixi. These are new. This one is in the shade Delicate Dew. It's their Glowy Glossomer Duo, and it looks crazy metallic. I'm going to use this side. I really enjoyed Pixi's face products. I think they do some great stuff. Wow. It really is kind of glossy. I'm trying to not go too heavy, but my skin does look kind of dry. My forehead looks okay, but my face, I think where I primed, I think it's a little too dry, which is something I say never almost. So this highlighter actually looks quite good close up on the skin, because sometimes, I mean, you can pile all the highlighter on and with the lights and everything it looks so good, but up close I can only imagine, like sometimes when I see people apply highlighter I'm like, what does that look like in person? But this actually looks really nice. Okay, I've wiped off my lip mask and I'm about to do my lips, but I did want to set my face first. This is from Coola. It's their makeup setting spray with the SPF 30. I think is this glass bottle new? I don't remember it always coming in a glass bottle, which I don't love for travel, but I'd like to see minis of it if it doesn't exist already, but let's try it. It's got like little stones in there. Up the nose. It says it has hyaluronic acid in there too. It feels really light. Like, as you can see, it didn't make me any more, you know when you put a setting spray on and it looks so shiny? It didn't make me any more shiny. Huh. Slight SPF scent, but I love that it didn't make me any more shiny. And then finally, for the lips, I'm going to be using the Marc Jacobs, what are these called? Hydrating Lip Gloss Stick in Mocha Choco-lata. Mocha Choco-lata, yeah. I've been singing this ever since I did my monthly makeup basket, like a week ago. I've been singing Lady Marmalade. Ooh, pretty. I haven't tried it yet. Slightly minty, really glossy finish. Huh. Wow. I like that a lot. And just a little bit of color. Ooh, yeah. So here is the finished look. I'm trying to think back on everything I tried because I used so much stuff today. I'll say for the most part, I really liked everything I tried. The only thing I'm feeling kind of hesitant about is the Colourpop foundation, because I feel like it looks super kind of heavy in the center of my face. So I'm going to need to play around with it a little bit more so that I can give you a better review. But I think the shade match is pretty good. Definitely with bronzer and stuff it came together, but overall I'm really happy with how this look came out. And I love the gloss, I love the highlighter, love the eyeshadow palette, love the Too Faced concealers. Yeah, things look pretty good here. So anyways, I'm going to go film an empties video now, so you're going to see this look again. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I really wanted to just kind of sit down and chat and try out some of the new things that are happening, and stay tuned for further reviews on some of these products. And as always, if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!